being a bitch. Okay, and of course Jesus called them dogs, and they were being called brood of vipers. So cuss words, depending on who, what, when, where, how, why, aren't that bad. Anyway, 21. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Right? The tongue, your actions. Those who love the action of being a man of God will not reject me, even if they're married, because they're married under false pretenses. You have a bunch of fake Christian marriages, a bunch of social norm fanatic marriages that God despises. Not only are marriage invalid, it is a mockery of God. It is a mock ritual. It is detestable. Even your prayers during a wedding are detestable because of how you people get married. Who, what, when, where, how, why. 22. He who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord. What's the difference between a wife and a mock ritual slut? He who finds a wife, where they're talking about harvest, right? The parable of the tenants, parable of the wicked husbandman. He who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord. Were any of you supposed to raise your daughters to shun me? Those of you who had daughters in the 20s and above, 18 and above? No. Or daughters at all, really? No. Were you supposed to raise them to choose financial stability over spiritual stability and eternity? No. You were not supposed to do that. God said, last of all, I send my son. He's the top martial artist ever, the most righteous person ever lived. You will respect him. Okay, when I did this, no coded message, just adjusting my glasses. You will respect him. I don't say any coded message. You will respect him. And he said, they'll respect this guy. Why wouldn't they? They'll respect him. Even when they screen him out, they'll respect him. Whatever they do, they'll have respected him on a certain level and they'll be fucked. They'll give him true respect. They should respect him. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm getting at? Damn communication problems, damn semantics. He who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord. In Proverbs 31 it says, a wife of noble character who can find? Her worth is much more precious than rubies, or something to this effect. Who can find? Why? Because of your mere customs, cultures, human rules. Because of the opinions of a dumb bitch. Because of the opinions of the dumb parents that fucking raised them. A couple of bitches. No heart. No sense. No wisdom. They put this world in their races. Races in rebellion above God. Every race as such. The majority of every race, historically, since anyone can remember, is in rebellion. You put your rebellion races above God. You don't think that's fucking stupid? You think your sniveling coward races are greater than the top martial artists ever combined? You fucking worms? You think I won't be trampling you motherfuckers forever? You think God's going to choose you pussies over me? He who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord. He who doesn't is looking at a bunch of bitches on a planet of 8 billion people. When he's the top martial artist ever and the son of God. Disgraced nations I despise. Proverbs says the righteous detest, they despise the wicked. The poor plead for mercy, but the rich answer harshly. Who are you sniveling serpents answering harshly to? Oh, wow, I'm on part 2. Okay, I'm going to have to break this in 2 parts. Okay. One who has unreliable friends soon come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. God. So you're supposed to give me the infrastructure I need to bring God's word into the world. In this country alone, there's said to be over 380,000 churches. 380,000. You motherfuckers. You've sat there every step of the way, many of you knowing who I am, sucking a fucking dick instead of manning up. That's what your genes are worth. Not just your failure, your fucking genes. That's what you've shown your kids. Whether they know what's going on here or not, they know you're a bitch. Because it is impossible to know that God's son is telling you to obey and to not obey and for people to miss that you're a motherfucking bitch. Impossible.